Guys, I have been super excited because we are in the new era of Foo Fighters material, and I am loving Medicine at Midnight. It's been in the car. I was able to find a physical copy of it at Walmart, and it's 9 amazing songs, and I'm just all pumped up about the Foo Fighters. I am Chris Norwood on a journey to hear every song ever recorded, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I've never done one of these. I usually do ranking the studio albums by whoever. I've done a Foo Fighters video if you want to check that video out. But today, this video right here is going to be the top 10 songs from the Foo Fighters. Okay guys, in compiling my list of the 10 best Foo Fighters songs, it was tough, but it was not as tough as I thought it was going to be. They are one of my favorite bands, but as I was compiling this list, I kind of started to see the pattern, and I feel like, and unlike other musicians and bands, I feel like the Foo Fighters have released in most cases, the Foo Fighters are a singles band, and it does appear, at least in my opinion, that they have released the best songs, and the best songs have won. Like you say, may the best song win. And in the Foo Fighters universe, it certainly appears, in my opinion, that most of their best songs are the ones that were huge hits and went to number one. That's not usually me. I'm usually the deep cuts kind of guy. But for this band, this Foo Fighters in particular, it does look like the singles are the best songs. For the most part. And actually, my absolute favorite song of all time, I believe it's the only non-single on here, is my favorite. So I'm still cool. I still got my cred. My number one favorite Foo Fighters song of all time is not a hit single. All the other ones were. All the other ones were way up on the charts. Most of these were number ones. Let's just jump into it. Top 10 songs from the Foo Fighters. I'm going to be starting with number 10 and working my way up to the best song of all time. Real quick, honorable mentions is going to be from the new album. Love Dies Young is a really great album closer, and I wanted to include something from this album, even though it's only a few days old. Love Dies Young, great album closer. Check it out if you haven't already. And another one that I have to give an honorable mention to is Big Me from the debut, essentially Dave Grohl solo project, Foo Fighters, the debut album, because I didn't include a song from that one, and I knew that you guys would be so angry. I tried to get one song from each album, especially since the Foo Fighters have 10 albums, but I also wanted to keep my list pure and not just pick the best song from each album. I really wanted the 10 best. So let's just jump in right now. I don't have a physical copy of this one, but coming in at my number 10 favorite Foo Fighters song is going to be Something from Nothing off of Sonic Highways. It was a single. It went to number 1 on at least one chart, and it was just a banger. I'm a huge fan of Sonic Highways, and Something from Nothing just really grabbed me from the start. So, number 1, Something from Nothing. Woohoo! And I'm going to give you a little, that's the cover art for Sonic Highways. Coming in the middle, number 9th spot is going to be From Concrete and Gold. I love late era Foo Fighters, and you will see this in my list. The next song from Concrete and Gold is going to be Arrows. It was not a single, but it actually hit number 5 on the UK charts. So it's the best performing non-single of the bunch. Arrows in her eyes, something where her heart should be. I had a really tough time finding my favorite off of Concrete and Gold. I love that album so much, and it's the one that you wouldn't think I would like. But they took the Pink Floyd, the Led Zeppelin, and the Who, and they just made something really spectacular on that album, really special. And Arrows, for me, just stands songs above the rest. Coming in at my number 7 best Foo Fighters song of all time. I'm actually excited. I have this physical copy of The Color and the Shape. It's in really good condition. It's in really good shape. Ooh, ooh la la. What is the song going to be? Oh man, oh man. And you guys are probably going to be mad at me for not ranking this song higher. It had to be in here, guys. The next greatest Foo Fighters song of all time. It is number 11 on here. There's some great songs on here, but there's nothing better than Everlong. Wow, 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 wow. Tonight, and this song is actually the reason that I'm shooting this video tonight. I was sitting back here, I was watching television, and I was thinking about some stuff, thinking about some people, thinking about some situations in my life, and I said, it just popped in my head, I need to listen to Everlong. I haven't listened to old Foo Fighters in forever, and I just cranked up to Spotify and put on Everlong. And it is amazing. It's fantastic. It's just mind-blowingly good. It did not go to number 1. The highest position it reached was number 3. But if anybody is kind of unfamiliar with the Foo Fighters, even they would know Everlong. That's the Foo Fighters song that they are known for. You know, it's just that big, huge, epic hit from, 1997. Unbelievable song. Coming in next, we have a song, another one, from Sonic Highways. I was a huge fan of Sonic Highways. It got me through a really tough time in 2014. I was doing chemotherapy. Chemotherapy was not working, and I remember watching that series, Sonic Highways, and it really helped me through a very bad time in my life. Everything's good now. Thank goodness. Thank you, Foo Fighters, for helping me out during my battle. Congregation, a spiritual track, just absolutely epic. Now, Congregation was the 3rd official single from Sonic Highways, if I am reading that correctly. It featured country music singer Zac Brown. He was on the Grohl Sessions Volume 1, and this is a pretty long track, and it does a lot of stuff. It was recorded at the Southern Ground Studio in Nashville. Such a cool town. I actually had to go to Nashville. For some surgeries. I really want to go back and check it out again when I'm, in good health. But yeah, Nashville, Tennessee. You had the whole band produced by Butch Vig. Oh man, just an absolutely great tune. So far we have Something from Nothing, Arrows, Everlong, and Congregation. What will be next? It's going to be off. There Is Nothing Left to Lose. And this is the song, people, that got me into this band initially. Now, I had heard of Foo Fighters before 1999. I had been kind of jamming out to them probably since 96. Somewhere in there, 96, 97. But in 99, the smash hit, Learn to Fly. That song instantly takes me back to middle school. It's just an amazing song. It's kind of like Everlong, where everybody in the world likes it. It went to #1. It was a huge hit. It's one of their biggest hits. And it's just great. It's just absolutely great in every way. Oh man, this next one, I play this on my guitar all the time. It's one of my most played songs on guitar. It's from One by One, which is a terrible record, by the way. Just in my opinion, I bought this one when it came out, and it was just extremely disappointing. But the only, well, you know, All My Life is okay, but Times Like These has just become the anthem for surviving and overcoming obstacles. It went to #5 on the charts. It's times like these you learn to love again. It's times like these, time and time again. It's times like these you learn to love again. It's times like these, time and time again. It's times like these we learn to love again. Did you guys see the inauguration performance? Holy crap. It was a little bit slow paced, but man, it was a nice change and it was really epic. Oh man, I'm getting all teary-eyed. That's what music's about, getting emotional. Next one is going to be off Echo, Silence, Patience, and Grace. What's it going to be? The Pretender. Man, I love this song. I've almost blown my voice out tonight rocking out to this. It was the lead single from the 2007 album that we just mentioned, and it's one of their biggest hit songs. Went to #1, like most of these did, on the Billboard Hot 100. It went to 37. It's kind of in league with Learn to Fly and Best of You. The composition, it was actually called Silver Heart when it came out, which is kind of cool. That kind of fits. The song was much slower. That's interesting. It's about political unrest. Oh man. So it's kind of recorded later in the sessions for their 2007 album, but man, it wrecks my vocal cords. I actually enjoy playing it on guitar as well, but just that. What if I say I'm not like the others? What if I say I'm not just another one in your place? You're the pretender. What if I say that I'll never surrender? What if I say... Next one is coming off of 2005's In Your Honor. Oh man, I got a physical copy of this thing. It's freaking amazing. It's a double album, and every song on here is pretty darn good. But you know what? I've got another confession to make about my third favorite Foo Fighters song. Do you know what it is yet? I'm Your Fool. Everyone's got their chains to break, and I'm gonna. It's the best of you. This is another song that you can just blow your vocal cords out while singing along. We're gonna get some information here on the best, the best, the best, the best of you. I believe this is their most successful song ever. I'm just seeing platinums. It's just, I know, I actually heard a story where the band initially didn't think this was that great of a song, and they weren't even going to include it. And then somebody suggested that they leave it in there because they liked it. It charted for 7 weeks. And let's see, accolades, there's covers. I've heard some interesting covers of it, but just that, the Foo Fighters, when Foo Fighters are firing on all cylinders, those really rapid fire lyrics that happen 3/4 of the way through a song, nobody does it like Dave Grohl. Has someone taken your faith? It's real. The pain you feel, the life, the love you die to heal, the hurt, the starts, the broken hearts. You trust, you must get fast. Is someone getting the best? The best, the best, the best of you. Has someone taken your faith? It's real, the pain you feel, the life, the love you die to heal. Man, that hurts. Like, that song just hurts me. And when I was singing along to it, you changed the words. I replaced you with I, and it's just super emotional. And man, that one just kicks you in the heart. Another one that's in the same vein, and I kind of realized looking at this list, I do typically like the more aggressive, faster Foo Fighters songs, where with a lot of rock bands, I prefer the slower stuff. With the Foo Fighters, I like their big stadium anthems. It's just what it is. It's what they're good at. It's what Dave Grohl is good at. It's what the entire band is good at accomplishing in that sonic highway. Whew! The best of you's got me fired up. Ooh! We've got 2 more. We've got the 2 greatest Foo Fighters songs of all time in space and coffee. What are your favorite Foo Fighters songs? I'm guessing, I'm not completely weird on this ranking. A lot of my album rankings, people are just like, what? But with these, I feel like this is kind of what most Foo Fighter fans would do. But, a little bit of a unique ranking. I don't think anybody has this exact list. Particularly my favorite Foo Fighter song. I'm sure it's a fan favorite, but I don't think it's like the fan favorite of deep cuts, because it is a deep cut. It's not a single. It didn't chart at all. But we'll get to that. We will get to that. Coming in next is going to be Walk. And this is just kind of one of those surviving anthems too. And it's got that breakdown of like where the best of you had the faith, it's real, the pain you feel. Walk has this epic voice shredding, rapid fire delivery 3/4 of the way through, where I'm dead, like it. You can almost feel Dave Grohl dancing on his grave as he's singing this song. He's losing his mind, and I love just jumping around in my underwear, climbing on top of my couch, almost breaking everything in my house as I scream along with him. A Walk is just epic. It's just epic. Let's Walk, Foo Fighters. Let's talk about this one a little more. The music video is great. It's got some unusual lyrics too that we can discuss. Let's just dive into the lyrics of Walk while we're here. And we'll get to my favorite song here in a minute. My number 1 greatest Foo Fighters track of all time. We got to talk about number 2, Walk. 1,000,000 miles away, your signal in the distance. To whom it may concern, I think I've lost my way. Getting good at starting over every time that I return. Learning to walk again. I believe I've waited long enough. That line kills me every time. I believe I've waited long enough. Where do I begin? Learning to talk again. Can't you see I've waited long enough? Where do I begin? Do you remember the days we built these paper mountains, then sat and watched them burn? I think I've found my place. Can't you feel it growing stronger, little conquerors? That little conquerors part is hard to understand. Sometimes I think he's talking about a cockroach, or just kind of awkward the way he says it, but it's a perfect song. I'm not going to criticize it. And then you get the chorus where he's learning to walk again, learning to talk again, and wants to know where he can begin. Now, for the very first time, don't you pay no mind, set me free again to keep alive. This is my absolute favorite part of one of my favorite songs. To keep alive a moment at a time. That sounds corny. That's still inside a whisper to a riot. The sacrifice, the knowing to survive. The first decline, another state of mind. I'm on my knees, I'm praying. This sounds so corny. I'm on my knees, I'm praying for a sign. Forever, whenever, I never want to die. I'm getting choked up again. I never want to die. I never want to die. I'm on my knees. I never want to die. I'm dancing on my grave. I'm running through the fire. Forever, whenever, I never want to die. I never want to leave. I'll never say goodbye. Forever, whenever, forever, whenever. Then the chorus again. Are you guys ready for the greatest Foo Fighters song of all time? I promise I'm going to get off my computer in just a minute. I'm off. This is off Wasting Light, possibly the best Foo Fighters record of all time. And remember, guys, before you criticize me, I did give an honorable mention to the debut album and to the newest album. So we got the debut, we got the new one. So we got all 10 albums kind of accurately represented here. Okay? We've got them all represented, whether it be in my top 10 or my honorable mentions top 2. You got away from me. Now get away from me. I could have grown. This is really weird. Just living in a shadow. Maybe I should say what my number one of all time, my absolute favorite Foo Fighters song. This is the greatest Foo Fighters song ever. I don't have the physical copy of this album. I've only got, right now I only have this one, and the brand new one. So this is my little meager Foo Fighters collection. I have all the others on MP3. I do actually have the MP3s. I don't just stream them because Foo Fighters are one of those bands. Have to at least download it. The greatest Foo Fighters song of all time is going to be Dear Rosemary off of Wasting Light. Dear Rosemary is the third track off of 2011's Wasting Light. It is 4 minutes and 26 seconds. And it is the greatest Foo Fighters song of all time, in my opinion. There's a ton of singles released off this album, but this one is just mind-blowing. There was also some personnel of interest on the track. Bob Mould is guitar and backing vocalist on Dear Rosemary. And he also does some backing vocals on I Should Have Known. But the trading vocals of Dave Grohl and Bob Mould just really kind of, this song is so great that it made me a fan of Bob Mould. I may be pronouncing his name wrong because I'm not that big of a fan, but it made me a fan of his music because the song is so good. Wasting Light, I mean, gosh, it's just insanely good. The entire album is good. You got Bridge Burning, you got Rope, you got this, Dear Rosemary, you got White Limo, which I saw them perform in 2017. Whoa! Arlandria, These Days were singles, Back and Forth, A Matter of Time, Miss the Misery, I Should Have Known, and Walk. Japanese bonus track is Better Off, which I'm actually, earlier tonight, I was listening to some, I saw on Spotify where Foo Fighters have a ton of their B-sides and rarities. If you look on Spotify, they have like the little file cabinet images. A lot of deep cuts, or a lot of B-sides and rarities on there. Really freaking great. But Wasting Light is amazing. Let's talk about the song, though, not the album. We've talked a little bit about the lyrics. I couldn't grow just living in the shadow. Where do you go when no one's following you? You ran away. It was right on cue. Shall I go on and on again? Rosemary, you're part of me. You know you are, you are, you are. Rosemary, you're part of me. You know you are, you are, you are. Rosemary, please pardon me. And then this line kills me. Truth ain't gonna change the way you lie. Youth ain't gonna change the way you die. Dear Rosemary, dear Rosemary, you got away with things. You got away with things. So it changes from got away with things to got away with things. That's interesting if that's correct. False starts, young hearts get shattered. That kind of sounds like Love Dies Young on this one. So young hearts, there's a lot about youth in here. Young hearts get shattered. Pick up the pieces coming down around you. You ran away. It was right on cue. So it's kind of like they knew that she was going to escape. And then it repeats. And then there's this again, the vocal trade-offs. This was no ordinary life. Where Dave and Bob, Dave, Bob, Bob, Dave. This was no ordinary. I can't do it. I'm here from now on. But once I'm gone, I'm gone. Please pardon me. Please pardon me. Please pardon me. Dear Rosemary. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So, of course, there's always the Nirvana connection. I try not to do that because I feel like at this point, almost 30 years later, it's aggravating to Dave Grohl that he can't get out of that shadow. But it does sound like Dear Rosemary is kind of, that's an unusual name. And Courtney Love's attorney, Rosemary Carroll, let's see, found what looked like a practice sheet for forgery in Courtney Love's backpack during the time that Kurt Cobain was, wow. Wow, wow, wow. There's also some stuff out there implying that possibly it's something to do with Tender is the Night by F. Scott Fitzgerald from 1934. But I just love this song. It's my favorite Foo Fighters song. I like the way it sounds. I like the way it makes me feel. It makes me cry. It makes me jump around. Actually, I took my Squier Telecaster off the wall, almost decapitated my dog with it because the strap kept breaking. But fortunately, I'm a very safe guitar player. I hold on to it very tightly and just rocked out to that song. Oh man, I gotta make me like a Foo Fighters mixtape with these songs. Man, that would be killer. Something from Nothing. Okay, we're gonna review my list one more time and then we're getting out of here. Okay, guys? Candle's not gonna last all night. Maybe it will. I can't blow it out. Something from Nothing. Arrows. Everlong. Congregation. Learn to Fly. Times Like These. The Pretender. The Best of You. Walk. And Dear Rosemary. You're part of me. You are, you are, you are, you are. Truth ain't gonna change the way you lie. Youth ain't gonna change the way you die. Times like these you learn to live again. Yeah, it's times like these you give again, again. Yeah, it's times like these you give again, again. It's times like these you learn to live again. Yeah, it's times like these you give again. And times like these, learn to live again. And times like these, time again. I'm a new day rising. I'm a brand new sky to hang. The stars upon the night. But I'm a little divided. Do I stay or run away and leave you all behind? It's times like these you learn to live again. It's times like these again, again, again. It's times like these you learn to live again. It sounds like this time and time again. again. It's times like these, time and time again. It's times like these you learn to live again. It's times like these you give and give again. It's times like these you learn to love again. It's times like these all the time. It sounds like these you learn to love again. It sounds like these you learn to love again. It sounds like these you learn to love again. It sounds like these time again. It's times like these you learn to live again. It sounds like these you live again. It sounds like these you learn to love again. It sounds like these time and time again. It sounds like these you learn to love again. It sounds like these you live again. It sounds like these you learn to love again. It sounds like these time and time again. It sounds like these learn to love again. It sounds like these learn to live again. It sounds like these you give and give again. It sounds like these learn to love again. It sounds like these time and time again. Oh. Hello, I'm waiting for you. Tonight, I throw myself into and she sang, calm down and rest away with me, down with me. Where's the chorus? And I wonder when I sing a song with you.